Hello everyone, welcome to pre-recorded live stream, the only live stream that is pre-recorded. This is where every week, typically I post these on Wednesday, I will talk about the video topic from last week. I will explain how that works a bit more later, and then anything that I've watched, read, played this week that I just feel like talking about, as well as channel updates and life updates, as long as they pertain to either of my channels. But also, that little flub there was a good point to mention, that this is where I let those little flubs happen, baby. Over on my main channel, it is very edited, but over here, we're a bit more casual with things. But thank you for joining us here at pre-recorded live stream episode 5. So first thing is a life/channel update. A big, really big channel boost lately. I'm just over the fucking moon. I really am. I'm like that moon man. I'm just over that moon, baby. There was so much support on this last Avatar video. Actually, today it just became my first 2,000 view video, which is so crazy to me, but thank each and every one of you so much. I could never ever thank you enough. But that's about all you deserve, honestly. But anyways, also the Hunter x Hunter video also doing very well. I'm so grateful for the direction that my channel is moving in, and I feel like I'm getting a lot of momentum right now, and it really does mean the world to me that you people listen to me talk about fucking cartoons. Okay, so now that we have gotten all that boring shit out of the way, we gotta talk about the real first part of this video, or this podcast, and that is the video topic for last week over on the main channel. So if you're new here, and I really don't know how many more times I'm gonna explain this, I don't know, it's episode 5. Do I really have to say something 6 times? Oh my goodness, when will you people learn? But so, what the video topic portion is so over on the main channel, Casual Classroom, this week I posted a video on the exam arc of Hunter x Hunter. Please go check that out. By the way, it was one of my arc review videos, which have been doing very well by me. I think that that's going to be a big thing in my channel going forward. But anyways, so since I talked about the Hunter exam arc of Hunter x Hunter last week, now I'm going to be talking a little bit about Hunter x Hunter in general and some of my thoughts on it, and then also the Zoldyck estate mini arc, because the next arc of Hunter x Hunter I would want to talk about is Heaven's Arena. However, that is 2 arcs from now, and just because I am a weirdo, I want to talk about the Zoldyck estate arc, but I don't think that it's meaty enough to demand its own video. So let's get going talking about Hunter x Hunter. So probably my favorite overall thing about the series so far is Gon and Killua's friendship. I just really like them. It's really nice to have 2 kids just be friends. And I've heard that I might not get this feeling for super long, but that's okay. I really like it for now, and I like having my heart broken by media. So I think this will all work out really well for me when I'm in a lump on the floor crying. But anyways, some other things I really like about this series. The soundtrack is one of my favorites in all of anime. It's up there with Cowboy Bebop in my opinion. It just, I don't know, it just has this really fun electricity. I don't really know how to describe it. There's a lot of percussion in it that I think works very well. The soundtrack is very present and up in the front of the presentation. A part of the Hunter exam arc that I really enjoyed that I didn't really get to include in the video at any point just because I didn't really find a part where I could fit it in was the competition where you had to steal other people's badges and go on and to steal Hisoka's. I thought that it was very fun and a really cool convention for a sort of you're hunting bounties and stuff. You gotta get in there and track people. I thought it was very cool, but I just couldn't find a spot to talk about it. So now let's just move right into the Zoldyck family estate arc. I love the Zoldyck family. I love all of their designs and a lot of their performances. I really like his like fat little incel brother who also like he knows some about Greed Island later. I've like seen up to points where they are like talking about that. I also really like the mom with her like robot parts and like weird Victorian garb. But I think my favorite, my most like, ooh, I think that his incel brother was my favorite to watch like moment to moment on screen just because he was so awful and there were a lot of great jokes around him. But the most interesting one was his dad. I think his name is like Silvio or something like that. But I thought it was really interesting that he just let Killua go. I want to see a bit more of him. I want to know what's going on with that guy a bit more. Another character who I really loved was Canary. She is the like younger. She looks like, ooh, if I had to guess, and I've not seen the Zoldyck Estate arc for a little bit. So if at any point she goes like, I'm 37, I am forgetting that. But she seems a bit older than Killua, but she still looks pretty young. So I'd say she's like 15-year-old chick that they have guarding the Zoldyck estate. I loved her flashbacks with Killua. I thought that they were very interesting. I thought that they really led into Killua's pursuit to find a real friend. Oh, that scene where she like asks Killua, I believe she says specifically in the dub version, "Did you make a friend, Master Killua?" And he just like doesn't say anything and just keeps walking. It's just crushing. I thought that she was a really great character. Okay, so folks, before we move on to the next segment of the podcast, we have a much more important thing to cover. Drink check! So I know that I usually have my 3-drink rule where I think that if you're sitting down to do something, not just sitting, but having a seat, you need at least 3 drinks. 1 for fun, 1 for hydration, and 1 for energy. That was the 3rd one, right? Well, right now, I need my 1 for energy. I am recording this in the morning, so I am having 7 beers, and then I think I will go on a drive around several elementary schools. No, I'm kidding. I only drink and drive during the summer, but I am having a Celsius right now. These are really yummy. Some people say that they give you kidney stones, but I say... So, the next thing that we have to talk about is the new John Mulaney special. John Mulaney released a new Netflix special on the 25th of April, I believe, of this year. It is called Baby J. It is very, very, very good. Okay, I love John Mulaney. So let's talk about a few things, because, you know, some of us did this, and now our reputation is different. You'll get that if you have seen the show. But if you haven't, no joke for you, baby. So before I get into my thoughts on the situation, and also, by the way, I'm not also on cocaine. I know it might sound like that when I do this show sometimes. This is pure, unadulterated ADHD mixed with the internet at way too young of an age, as well as video games, especially violent video games, frankly. But anyways, so before I get into my thoughts on the situation, let me say what I believe happened to my knowledge, so that if anything else comes out, or if anything else is already out, like, it's clear what I believe happened and what I'm saying, even though 3 people listen to this. But so, what I believe is that John Mulaney had a coke addiction, got divorced, and had a baby with Olivia Munn, Psylocke in X-Men Apocalypse. Not that good in that movie, so John, come on, buddy. But that possibly could have been before the divorce. I don't know if that's clear or not yet. However, so that's all the things that I know. But I have seen some people act like John Mulaney is Bill fucking Cosby, and let me explain more. First off, okay, anyone who says that this like ruined his ex-wife or that it destroyed her, which are real comments that I have seen on TikTok, so not indicative of really anything except that people did think that, and that is insane. And I know that like people are coming from a place of empathy because it sucks to get divorced. No one likes that. Like, even if it's like even if like you are glad that you're not going to be with that person anymore, it's not like divorce is ever like fun. But it is incredibly sexist to just assume that she is ruined now. Like, even if she is like really emotionally devastated by it, like, I don't know. I do think that a lot of people who say it are coming from a place of empathy, but like, if she was the stand-up comedian, I just I don't see people saying that about this situation if it was a man in her shoes, personally. Second off, addiction is a disease. Like, that is just the case. It literally changes the chemistry of your brain and your body, which, brain's a part of your body. But it is so much worse when those substances you're addicted to are like shit like opiates. Like, it is different. And like, people do not understand that. Like, I know that like John Mulaney obviously, did some bad shit when he was a cokehead and a pill addict who was, on the fast track to death. However, I think that we can give him some leeway based on the state that he was in. And obviously, like, okay, I also hate the people being like, oh, he did it to himself. Do you say that about fucking anything else? If you sleep with your phone next to your head and get brain cancer someday, you technically did it to yourself. But are you going to go around to people with cancer saying, like, hey man, probably shouldn't have used the microwave that much, did it to yourself? Like, no, you're obviously not going to do that. People just don't think that addiction is like a real disease, and it is. Finally, the last part of this, obviously it is wrong to cheat on your wife. But there are a lot of bad things that you can do that are wrong that don't make you a bad person forever. It's wrong to cheat, but guys, he didn't skin a baby, and we don't even know for sure if he cheated, because here's the other thing, if they were technically still married, I would assume, like in a lot of divorces, there was an understanding that they were separated, even if at the time the state doesn't agree yet. And I really think that people not being able to comprehend that also shows how fucking young these people talking about, like, John Mulaney's divorce is, because it's like, all these fucking, like, 15-year-olds who have no life experience, and, like, I'm 22. I don't have very much life experience, but you get a lot of life experience between 15 and 22. But it really just, I feel like it really just shows how, like, ignorant they are about a lot of these things. Because it's not like happy couples are out here just getting divorced. Like, yeah, they could have technically have been together, but I'm sure that she was seeing other people too, and that's her right if there's an understanding between them that they are separated. Now, let's get on to the actual special, because holy shit, this was, in my opinion, definitely John Mulaney's best special yet. It was not only just as funny as all the others, if not funnier, but it had, like, a clear, genuine honesty to it that was very, very refreshing. Like, it's just, I don't know, like, it's cool to, like, and I think that's part of his transition into being, like, an older type of comedian, where I think he's making a lot more jokes that are not only hilarious, obviously, but have a lot of, like, poignancy to them, which I think you find with a lot of, like, comics as they grow in age, that, unless they just, like, fucking fall off the face of the planet, fall off the face of the planet, a lot of their jokes become more, like, poignant and meaningful as they get older, in my opinion. Or they usually just turn into, like, a hateful little shit. But whatever. I don't think that that's going to happen with Johnny, but if it does, I hope it's against, like, a group that we can all agree is awful. Like, people who talk in the movie theater. I'm not going to repeat any jokes from it, obviously, because I would just deliver it less funny and probably make the actual delivery of it also less funny because you've heard it. But my favorite bits, if you've seen it, which, by the way, again, also, huge recommend, it's also, like, I think it's important. I really do, because, like, addiction is a real problem in this country, especially this kind of medicalized, like, opiate addiction. Because, yeah, if you don't know, like, not only was, like, John, like, addicted to, coke, but he was also addicted to, like, prescription drugs, which are way fucking harder to kick. But I think it's a really important thing, and, like, he's very, like, honest and genuine about the experience of it. But my favorite parts from it were the intervention, the rehab, and the watch selling stories. Those were all my favorite ones, but the whole special is hilarious. Even, I've seen it twice now. even the jokes that I did not like that much in the moment, I just like, I don't know, I just didn't give a fair shake to, I think. There's a certain joke with Al Pacino that I did not think was that funny when it was going on, but then rewatching it, I was literally crying laughing, so I don't think that my opinion means fucking anything. Very good, strong recommendation, go check it out. Okay, so another little like section. I like to do these smaller sections in between the bigger like main topics. Another one that I want to start doing if I had seen a movie the previous week is box office updates because I don't know, I think it's kind of interesting. And also you will find trends a few years down the line if certain things are successful. Like I know that we all like to say that like, oh, Avatar the first one like had no cultural impact. However, the success of that movie did lead to a big push in like 3D stuff. So like that is a certain thing I'm talking about. You could also like point out the MCU with like superhero movies. It's just interesting. It's also I don't know, I think that it like gets you to understand the entertainment industry better. But anyways, box office update on Renfield. This is a dramedy about the longtime suffering assistant of Dracula, Renfield, trying to escape like his abuse. I saw it last week. I do recommend it for like a pretty fun time, especially if you like vampire lore. However, this movie bombed super fucking hard. The budget was probably around 110 million. So the way that that kind of budget calculation works is, hold on, I've got gas escaping up through my gullet. Okay, there we go. So I was made in a lab by an old man, and sometimes, since he didn't wire my gastrointestinal tract right, sometimes the gas will like come back up through my throat, and I don't really know how to burp, so I've just kind of got to like let it like come out slowly. Also, burping is icky, and I don't feel like doing that because I am a gentleman. But anyways, so the budget list on Google was $65 million, and now typically what you have to do is double that for marketing, so it would be $130 million. However, this movie was really not marketed, like, at all, and I watch, like, movie trailers and shit. I would know if this movie was being marketed, especially since I am in the demographic for this movie. So I'm putting the budget at, like, 110 million, because it was marketed, obviously, but I think that like, about 2/3 cut on the marketing end of things is about reasonable. However, so the budget was $110 million. Worldwide, it has made $22 million, which I don't know if I have any math majors in the audience, but that's bad. Okay, so the final thing that we're gonna do to wrap up this week is the video game check. So I've kind of like fallen off of Overwatch a bit. I've been a bit more busy, and Overwatch, I don't know, I like to like dedicate a bit more like time to it usually when I play it. So lately I have been playing Breath of the Wild because I can just like pick it up for a few minutes and like maybe like, you know, make a recipe or like clear out like one little like camp or something and then put it down. Unless I want to play it for like 80 hours or something, which does happen occasionally. But so, I've been playing a lot of Breath of the Wild lately, in anticipation of the new game coming out somewhat. I will not be buying that game right away, because $60 is a lot of money. However, the issue is, I don't know if I'm ever going to buy this game then, because you might know this, you might not. Nintendo games are $60 forever. I don't think that there's ever been a Nintendo game that has ever gone down in value, because Nintendo is one of the most blatantly anti-consumer, like, I don't know about, like, real, like, industries that have, like, impacts, like the military-industrial complex or, like, oil or some shit. But in terms of, like, stupid soy-face shit, Nintendo is so deeply anti-consumer, it is crazy. Like, they never have any, like, sales on anything. All of their, like, hardware is, like, super difficult to repair or do anything to. They recently decided to, like, stipend a guy's pay forever, which I guess you can just do. I don't know. I don't know a lot about like business and like shit like that. But I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of Nintendo, frankly. But also, I don't know, I know that people are really excited for the Breath of the Wild sequel, but I don't really like the way that the vehicle stuff looks. It doesn't look super fun to me. I'm sure it'll be good when like you can like get your hands on it and like feel it, because the thing is that like Breath of the Wild just like feels so like it feels so incredibly like well polished and like good to play. Like everything just feels nice. That I'm sure in that game it'll be the same way. But anyways, what I like to do in Breath of the Wild is I like to forage a lot and hunt and just like cook nice recipes and roam the countryside. I have played this game 3 times. I think I've had 3 different saves. I have freed one of the divine beasts. That is it across all of those. I don't know if I'm gonna do that this time. I really just like to like explore the whole map and like go around, do side quests, and like learn different recipes and like try and like buy all the armor sets and stuff. The biggest thing that I like about that game is just like roaming the world. I really love the what's my like favorite environment in those? I love the way that the snowy mountains look. Right now I'm trying to make my way up. I think it's called like the like Tabantha region or something. Trying to make my way up there. It's north of Hyrule Castle. It's where you learn how to shield surf. I really want to learn how to do that because it is one of the most fun things you can do in the game. But yeah, that is Video Game Check for this week, y'all. And I think that that is also pre-recorded live stream for this week. Live stream. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I will catch you next week. Go check out my main channel over on... go check out my new video over on the main channel. That is Casual Classroom. It will also be in the description. But thank you so much for joining us as always. Bye, y'all.